Xinpei has a question. I had a dream that I got attacked by a snake. You know, when the pop-up came up, I only see it only showed the first part, right? So I write, I got, I had a dream that I got AT something. That's like, oh, I got attained enlightenment. Oh, then I see the whole thing. Got attacked by a snake. Oh, I somehow interpreted it as tan greed. 人心不知物，蛇吞象. It reminded me of my greedy behavior. It triggered a fear of consequences. It reminded me of doing more 布施, the practice of giving, hoping to lessen the negative effects. Thus, having such intent of doing 布施, is it wholesome? Have a wonderful week ahead. Thank you for sharing your dream and your thoughts. There are quite a few suttas pertaining to snakes. Yeah. But I like the way you interpret it, that it is possibly as tan. I don't know whether you are greedy. Are you greedy? But being unenlightened, we have a bit of greed here and there. It's a matter of how much the greed is. And also, the object of greed for different people would be different. Yeah, some people greed for food, some people greed for money, some people may greed for sleep. Yeah, others may greed for material things, and then material things there are so many different types. Yeah, so if you ask someone who is, let's say, greedy for item A, and then but not greedy for item B, then another person is greedy over item B, but not greedy over item A. And they may feel that they may not understand why the other person is greedy. Yeah, they are greedy over different things. So then the question here is, reminded me of my greedy behavior. So you hope to practice giving to lessen the negative effects. Is that is such an intent wholesome? Well, it's not a bad thing. Yeah, it's not a bad thing. Not the ideal thing, but not a bad thing. Must say it's not ideal. At least you're trying to do something about it. Yeah. But there are a few things you can do actually. So there are two things here. One is the cause, the other one is the effect. The cause is greed, the effect is the consequences, right? So you are being very candid and honest that you want to lessen the effects. And it's due to the fear of consequences. So can I say that you are trying to lessen the effect of the consequences? Or lessen the effect of greed? Hopefully both. Both is better. Both is better. There's this saying, 众生为因，菩萨为果. Yeah. So the way is fearful. So sentient beings are fearful of the fruit. Then Bodhisattvas are fearful of the cause. Yeah. When we say Bodhisattvas, don't think, oh, only 大乘菩萨. Yeah. It's referring to those who are cultivating. Because I think if you look at the Shravaka disciples, Arhan, they are also fearful of the cost. Yeah. So basically, enlightened ones, they are fearful of the cost. Yeah. But unenlightened beings, we are fearful only of the result. Cost we like. Yeah. The rest of you, do you like greed? Say yes. Say. Greed we all like. Yeah. Why? Because the object of our greed is something desirable. Yeah. Something pleasant, give us a nice experience. Yeah, it feel quite good. Yeah. Either directly on our senses, that means it's a pleasant sensation on our senses, or it stroke our ego. Stroking the ego. Yeah. Uh, the experience itself make you feel good about you. Oh, yeah. So naturally we kind of get infatuated with it. We are drawn to it. So the fact that we are not fearful of the cost, yeah, which is greed, that's understandable. Not saying it's correct, but it's understandable. And we are fearful of the result, yeah, because the result is painful, yeah. So because result is painful, so we are fearful of it. The result here refers to the karmic consequences of being greedy, yeah. So we're normal. We're normal. Then how about enlightened ones? Does it mean enlightened ones are not normal? Yeah, no. Enlightened ones are normal also. The difference is that they have wisdom. Remember, um, the other day I was sharing about the birth, yeah, that in the teachings, in the suttas, the Buddha highlighted that birth is suffering. And why? Because from birth arises aging, sickness, and death. Separation from loved ones, contact with unpleasant ones, not getting what one wants. The whole mass of suffering arises with birth as a condition, right? So that which gives rise to suffering cannot be far away from suffering. Yeah. So with this kind of wisdom, when you look at greed and the karmic results of greed, then you see that if the painful results is to be feared, then greed cannot be something that you like. Yeah, because the cause of suffering cannot be something that that is far from suffering. So greed itself has the potential for suffering. So that is something to be feared. So 菩萨为因，云何菩萨为因？贪为苦因故，贪为苦依故。Yeah. So suffering relies on greed, relies on hatred, relies on delusion. Yeah, has greed, hatred, delusion as its support, as its dependency. Yeah. So it is to be feared. So if you said both, then okay, can both okay. You want to remove the cause of suffering and you want to remove suffering. Nothing wrong. No, it's okay. Yeah. Let me share with you with you all a short story. Then we wrap up for today. Because a student is coming by, he wants to get to go for a walk with me. Then after he wants to offer breakfast. Know him since Buddhist library time, maybe 2000. Let me see. Maybe 2011, 2010. Can't remember. Yeah. So know him for almost 10 years already. So what's the story about snake? so one day, the Buddha and Venerable Ananda, they were walking along the road. Yeah. Then there was a farm. To the side was like a farm. the paddy field, not farm, paddy field. Then there was a farmer there. Then Buddha walked, then stopped somewhere, and then looked on the ground, and then the Buddha commented, "Ah, poisonous snake, poisonous snake." Okay, must highlight. I don't know whether Buddha did this. The Sutta never described the hand like that. This is called dramatization, okay? Yeah. So then he continued walking. Then Venerable Ananda thought, why did the Buddha look at the floor and then say poisonous snake? So he went over and looked at it. Then he said, poisonous snake, poisonous snake. Then he went home. Then by then the farmer, all this got the attention of the farmer. So he was like, is there poisonous snake here? So he went over and looked at it. What poisonous snake? He saw a pile of gold. Yeah. So he was like, these two monks these two ascetics, these ascetics are very strange. This is gold. Gold is why did they say gold is poisonous? So he quickly dig out the gold, then bring it to his home, and then he was very happy, right? He get gold. Yeah, if this happened to you, will you be happy? Yeah. Sure, no, not happy. Yeah, I know that you're not happy because it's the kind of like, in the 70s and 80s, those pendant, then it's a thin pendant. Then, yeah, it's gold plated, not the solid bar one. This one is not the gold plated one. It's not the 99.9 gold plated. Yeah, it's a thick one. Yeah, thick one. Yeah. Dorian Chu asked, 众生为因，菩萨为果. Sentient beings fearful of fruits, effects, while Bodhisattva fearful of causes. But isn't果equals to fruits? Yeah, it is. What? Why? What's wrong? I'm confused. What is confusing about it? Dorian Chu?
不只是菩萨为果 right? So does it mean that the Bodhisattva has the fruits instead?
You're breaking up.
他的因果了，他以为是那个 food。
No, wait. I want to hear what she's trying to say first. You need to mute yourself, Hongji. You unmuted yourself. Okay, I'll mute you. Doreen, what is the confusion again?
菩萨为果 doesn't that mean that Pusa is fearful of the fruit instead of Pusa is fearful of the causes?
No. Either I misspoke or you missed it. 众生为果，菩萨为因. Yeah, did I say it to balik? Oh, I said to balik just now, twice. Once, there was once I said to balik. Yeah. So for those on YouTube, I hope you watch until this point. Yeah, sometimes my brain swap things around. Yeah, 众生为果，菩萨为因. Yeah. Okay. Twice. Okay. So all the time I said wrongly, is it? But yeah. This food is like that one. Sometimes the brain happily sort things around. Yeah, thanks for clarifying. So just to be clear, 众生为果，菩萨为因. Yeah. But I hope the explanation was correct. Okay, so back to the story of the snake. Yeah, so I was saying, so imagine it's gold bar, but probably not gold bar, because in those days, I don't know whether the smelting technology has reached that point. that they come out with standardized gold bar. But anyway, it's some gold. So he brought it back to the house. So of course, if you found some gold and you bring back the gold, what do? You just admire the gold. No, of course you must spend the gold. Yeah, gold is useless if you don't spend it. That's why those who buy gold jewelry, unless you are buying it as investment, otherwise you buy, then you don't spend the gold. Wearing the gold is not spending the gold. So anyway, he starts spending. So the moment he starts spending, it draws the attention of the authorities. Yeah. So the treasurer of that state then told the king. So the word spread all the way and reached the king. And then the treasurer said, he must have stolen our gold. How can a farmer suddenly have so much money? So they send the people go down to the house and found the gold. So capture him, bring back to the court. And the king questioned him. What do you have to say? Huh? So he said, great king, I swear I didn't steal your gold. I found the gold at the paddy field. He said, how is it possible that you just find? So he said, this is what happened. So he described how Buddha came and said that it's a snake, a poisonous snake. And then after then he went to look at it. So he told the whole story. Then he's like, are you sure? Yes. Okay, let's summon the Buddha and Venerable Ananda. So the two of them came. Then the king questioned them. Then he said, yes, indeed. Yeah, that's what we said. I said, why? But why? He said, well, it brings you trouble. Isn't this what's happening? Something like that. Then at that point, then the farmer said, indeed, that is poisonous snake. So, so when we heard of this story, right? So when I was in US, for the most part in US, right, I rejected all money offering. So yeah, so then heng heng sui sui, I kena the general duties, yeah, 总务. So in charge of general matters. Then general matters, then you must deal with money because you must pay, like if there's any work to be done, then you need to issue the check. Then you must go and collect the check from the letterbox, then go and bank in and all the zaplang matters, So then how? Then I pray to Buddha, may I have a kapiya to help me deal with this? Then very strange, out of the blue, suddenly we got one Amon come to our monastery. And then I didn't even mention anything to him. Then he suddenly said, and by the way, if you need to buy anything, I can just tell me, I can help you go and buy things. That's nice. So I share with my senior monk that, I'm trying to, do this. Then after that, right, whenever there's, sometimes there will be ang pao offering, once in a while, the devotees in US, then they will come and they will offer. Then my senior monk will joke with me. He say, 怎么样？你的毒蛇怎么办？毒蛇交给我，我是抓蛇专家。Funny. So anyway, so if you are unenlightened, the 毒蛇, the money can really be 毒蛇. Yeah. So but in the Bodhisattva precepts, then it says, 菩萨为度众生，应续百千万亿金银财宝。Yeah. So that's why in the Mahayana tradition, there is the acceptance of any kind of things. Yeah. But it must be done with the mindset, I accept this in order to liberate sentient beings, to facilitate the liberation of sentient beings. So when the Bodhisattva receive whatever that they receive, the thought must immediately be, I offer this, I dedicate this to the triple gem to all sentient beings. Yeah, then it's purified. And then anytime if any sentient beings require, of course the Bodhisattva must assess, then if suitable, then ready to give. Otherwise, then violation of both. Okay. Marcel wrote something. Last thing, boxes filled with more than 15.23 million Hong Kong dollars in cash spilled out of an armored van onto a major highway, sparking a frenzy. So this story, right? Before this happened, I shared this thought experiment about how we are predictable. That if you were to go and get $10,000 and exchange into $50 notes or $10 notes, then you go to, let's say, a retreat, and you accidentally spill the money. If you are at a retreat, like for example, now you're having, if let's say we have a retreat in person, then we spill the money, all of you will be unmoving. You will just, yeah. Or maybe you all will help to pile together, and then maybe even throw in some ang pao and pass to Sifu. Yeah. But if this happened in, let's say, some general MRT station, people will just go crazy, right? There may be some who won't, majority will, especially when you have a first few person rush out, snatch and run away. You will trigger this frenzy. Yeah. And my point when I shared that was about Suan Ming, that because most people act on their greed, most people act on their hatred, most people act on their delusion. So you can, as a result, predict what will happen. Yeah. But there'll be those who, after learning Dharma or because of life experiences, start to refrain from that. Then their lives start to change. And unfortunately, I think a few months or a few weeks, this is an old story. This is not a recent one. This happened a few years ago. I saw the same news. So after I shared that story, then a few weeks later, the song came out. I was like, I wish it's not so soon. Yeah. So have a happy snake catching day ahead. 愿消三障诸烦恼，
愿消三障诸烦恼，
愿得智慧真明了，
愿得智慧真明了，
不愿罪障悉消除，
不愿罪障悉消除，
世世常行菩萨道。
世世常行菩萨道。
阿弥陀佛。
阿弥陀佛。
Till we meet again, may be guided and protected by the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And as always,
乖乖，
have a happy snake catching day ahead.
Thank you, 师父。
Thank you, 师父。
Thank you,
Okay.
师父。
Thank you, everyone. Take care. Stay safe. Bye bye.
Bye.
拜拜，师傅，拜拜。
Bye,
Thank you.
Lama.
Thank you，拜拜。
Bye bye.